Hello, and welcome to our broadcast series in which we explore the rapidly evolving areas in our mobile-first world. My name is Chris Hohorst, and I'm going to talk to you today about mobile site speed. Why are we talking about mobile site speed? Because you guys care about your customers, and you know that a slow mobile experience is terrible for them. You know this for yourself. Every time you go out and you're trying to research or find a restaurant, you pull up a website, and it just takes forever to load. We're going to talk about why that's so important. And one thing we should think about is the experiences that your customers are used to every day. They're used to great, flashy, fast, super slick apps that deliver an amazing experience. And that's what they're comparing your site to. So there's a lot of things we can do to fix a mobile site. We can improve the UX, the UI. We can improve some of the autofill and form technology, for instance. But today we're going to talk about speed because it's one of the easiest things to fix, right? So this is a little bit of an intervention. Your sites are too slow. We've done a study where we found that the average site speed is around 22 seconds. Imagine just sitting there waiting for that to load for that long, okay? Now, you might be saying to yourself, why is this my problem, right? I care about AdWords or marketing. I'm a search marketing professional. We have developers for this. We have a whole engineering team. But we care about what happens after that click as much as what happens before it, because you guys work way too hard optimizing campaigns to lose those customers, lose that traffic once they click on the site, once they click on that link and they can't get what they need from your site, right? So we're going to make this our problem too, all right? So the one thing I want you to take away from today is that mobile site speed matters for me, and it's actually not that hard to identify issues and even resolve some of them, all right? So first thing I want to talk about is what happens when a user clicks that link and they experience a slow site. Research shows that 53% of people will actually abandon that site if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. Remember, the average site speed is 22 seconds, so we're losing a lot of people. We're delivering a really terrible experience for them. Okay, these are people that you've worked super hard. You've actually paid for them to click on that ad, and you're losing them once they click. Right? Now this has real impact for your bottom line too, and for the metrics you care about. For instance, 8% of people are going to abandon that site if it takes, for every second of load time delay, you're going to lose 8% of people in your bounce rate. Your cart size is going to decrease. Your conversion rate is going to decrease. Every metric that you really care about is going to be negatively affected when your site slows down, right? So we did a case study with a customer who looked at their site load time, then they tracked bounce rate and conversion rate. The headline there is that 1 second increase in speed, or so 1 second faster, they were seeing a 27% increase in conversion rate. Part of that's the bounce rate is dropping and the conversion rate itself is going up, okay? Now, this has real impact on the bottom line too. So whatever your metrics might be, you'll see an improvement in that cart size and that user engagement. They're willing to spend more time on your site, whether it's purchases you want or you want them to call you. All those metrics are going to be improved when you improve site speed. All right. Don't take my word for it. Been a lot of studies across the board. Amazon did a study and saw 1% more revenue when they decreased latency by 100 milliseconds. All right. So, okay, just want to pause. You might be thinking to yourself, again, what is this great Amazon? They have teams of hundreds of developers. What are we going to do about it? It's not my problem. All right. So today, I want to tell you, there's actually a lot we can do. There's a lot we can do to identify the issues. I don't have a front-end developer background, and there's still a lot that I can identify myself. Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to spend the next 5 or 6 minutes looking at a site and trying to diagnose what are some of the key issues that are slowing it down. All right. So we're going to go to a demo here, and this might be an opportunity for you to pull up your own site and walk alongside as I'm doing it and see how you're doing. All right. So here we are. So you can see this site. This is a Google Keep. I don't know if you use Keep. It's a great product. Let's right-click, and we're going to use this tool called Chrome DevTools. Now, every browser has something just like this. It's a free tool. It's built into your browser. It's just a way to sort of go under the hood of the site and see how it's loading and every single element. So right-click. I'm going to go to Inspect. All right, so I'll give you a second to do that as well. And what's going to load up here is on the one side on the left, you've got the site page, exactly what the page looks like. On the right, you're going to see this panel that has all this information about it. I'm going to walk you through how to set that up right now. The first thing to do is to go to the top left here and select which device you want to be pretending you're on. And you can make sure you're on a phone here by clicking this little toggle bar. Okay, see how I'm switching between desktop and phone? So now I'm on phone. All right, you're going to go over to network. Then we're going to make sure this little screenshot icon is blue, and you've selected that. Make sure cache is disabled. And what that means is that we're going to pretend like it's the first time we're loading so that we get to experience exactly what a new user to your site would experience. All right? Then the last thing we'll do is go over where it says no throttling. Now, I'm going to select regular 3G. What that means is that we're going to pretend we're on a cell network, not on the amazing Wi-Fi that I have here at the Google office or that you might have in your office. This is actually something that goes wrong a lot of times with developers because they do all their testing in a perfect world environment, and that's not where your users are. So we're going to use 3G. A lot of users have 4G, but again, just because they have a plan with 4G doesn't mean they get access to that bandwidth all the time. So we're going to use 3G so that we can really solve for all your users. Okay, we're set up. I hope you're set up at home too. We're going to reload this page and see what happens. I'm just clicking, Control R or however you want to reload that page. What you're going to see is the page loading on the left, and on the right side, all the different elements of the page getting loaded. And this is taking a while. It's taking a while. I wonder how your users would feel if this were your site, if they're going to stick around and wait for this big image to load. Okay, so we're almost done. You can look down at the bottom here. This is a neat little information bar. That's where you're going to see a lot of the numbers I'm going to talk about in a minute. And you can see that this page finish is still going, 38, 39 seconds. It's a little slow. Okay, so next what I want to tell you is the 3 big numbers you should care about. All right, this is a simple way to understand how the site's doing. So the first one is called requests. And you can think of that like a round trip. Every time your browser loads up a site, it's got to go get information from the page. So this is a round trip to go get information. And the more you got, the slower it's going to be. This one's actually pretty good. We've got 55 requests, not so bad. We shoot for under 100 usually. So I'm actually pretty impressed with this. The next one is page weight. That's the total amount of information that you're asking the site to deliver. Of course, the less that is, the faster the site's going to be. And obviously, users don't want to be downloading a ton of data from you either. They're going to be kind of frustrated if you're sending a ton of data to their phone because they're paying for that data. This page is 3.3 megabytes. Now, we recommend about 1 megabyte max. So no matter how well this page is built and composed, you're going to really slow things down if you're at 3.3. That's kind of on the really seriously a lot of megabytes scale. So take a look and see where you guys are at. Now the last thing we're going to look at is called above the fold content. And that's a measure of what does a user see. Right? When they're loading up their phone and they're loading up their site on your phone, they're waiting for it to load. What do they see? And when does that page feel like it's complete? Even if there's stuff loading in the background, when does it feel like they can interact with it? And the way we tell that is we go up to this film strip view, essentially a screenshot taken as the site is loading. Okay, so remember what I said about how 53% of people would abandon a site if it didn't load in 3 seconds? Well, this is what this site looks like at 3 seconds. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try 5 seconds. All right, well, we got some wording here. Let's try 10 seconds. Okay, you get the idea. It's taking too long. The first time you start to see, or you see really like an image here, is all the way at about 30 seconds. So try that exercise with your own site. See, if you're the user, put yourself in their shoes. What do they see? Is that enough information to decide they've gotten to the right spot? So those are the 3 main things you should care about. I will show you one quick nifty thing real quick. If you go to size here, you see how I'm highlighting this column? I can actually sort by that. And that's going to put the biggest things at the top. And then I can see that this image is 1.4 megabytes just by itself. That's a very nice image. It's a nice hand they got there. But is it worth that page weight? Probably not. And the other thing is that there's really easy ways to go out and compress these things. You can do it for free. You just go on, Google compress images, and you'll find a ton of tools where you can shrink these things down. I think what happens a lot of times is that marketing teams don't talk to the developer teams. They don't say, yeah, I'm okay with a compressed image here. I don't need this big thing. It's worth speeding up the site. So those are my tips. I did want to say, why I think this is about why speed's so important for your mobile site. I think it's a little bit about the user behavior. It's very different from what we're used to on desktop. On desktop, the priority was, let's have a fancy site, dynamic site, a lot of different content that can really bring our brand home, right? And on mobile, it's not the same. You've got less space, you've got less time. Think about the average time a user spends on their phone. Typical touch point might be just over a minute. So when you take up 10 seconds of that minute to load your site, you're using up a lot of their allocated time that they have for that browsing or shopping session. And so it's really important to, respect that and really shrink that down so that they feel more engaged. They're willing to spend the time on their phones. All right. So that's my pitch for today. I think you guys should all go out, test your sites. There are a lot of resources out there. This isn't just on you. One you might check out is if you Google test my site. It's a tool that Google provides to just plug in your URL. You'll get a report on things that you can do. You can send it right to your developer teams, and they can get started on fixing some of these things. We'll send out some more information as well, and you can always contact your Google teams who have lots of resources to help you out. Thanks. Have a good one.